Saves me this much.
Hey everybody, welcome to Woodchat for August 27th, 2014. I'm Matt Gradwell from uppercutwoodworks.com. You can find me on the web at uppercutwoodworks.com or on Twitter at uppercutwood. If you are watching the video and you'd like to participate in the chat with all the other woodchatters, head over to uppercutwoodworks.com/woodchat/chatroom, where you can watch the video and participate in the chat side by side. Or just use your favorite Twitter client and put in a search for hashtag Woodchat. With me, as always, is the co-host with the co-most, Chris Wong. Say hey, Chris.
Hey, no idea that means. It sounded pretty cool. Chris Wong here, coming to you from Port Moody, BC, where I am packing up all kinds of stuff for Woodworking America. Just 2 weeks' time.
Oh, sorry, gotta hit mute. Just verifying that it's working. Sorry.
Anyways, you can find me on Twitter at PlayWoodworks or at Chris_TW2. That's my Time Warp Toolworks Twitter handle there. And follow me, see my work at playwoodworks.com and woodworking tools at timewarptoolworks.com. And in a couple weeks, I'll be seeing our other host in person, in the flesh, Mr. Scott Meek.
That's me.
That's you.
You can find me at scottmeekwoodworks.com and SMeekWoodworks on Twitter. And I know what you mean. I'm getting ready for all the chaos of WA as well. It's
aren't you doing a different show up in Ontario or something?
Yeah, that's 2 weeks later.
So you got nothing going on then?
Yeah, nothing going on. I'm pretty laid back. You know, taking vacation every day.
Yeah, you're doing both shows, right, Scott?
Yeah, I'm doing both shows. Which, as we get closer, is feeling more and more insane.
Yeah.
But
I've got the mixed blessing of not being able to drive to the show. So that means I have to get everything ready and ship it ahead of time, which means tomorrow. Make sure it gets there on time. So it's a lot of pressure earlier on, but good part.
Yeah, we don't want what happened last time.
No repeats where it didn't arrive in time. The trade-off there, the good part is that once tomorrow rolls by, all I have to do is pack up a suitcase for myself and then get to the airport on time. That's all I have to do. Everything will be there and ready and waiting for me.
Excellent.
Well, I'm not doing a show. I'm not doing Woodworking in America. I'm not doing Woodworking in America. No way. I want to, but things have just been too crazy.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, it's all good. I guess we'll forgive you this time.
So, Matt, by chance, are you doing the final touches on your picture inspiration design?
I am doing the final touches. How did you guess?
If you do the top of your head, that's a pretty good indication.
Hey, it's all shined up for you, buddy.
Do you guys want to start there? Obviously, Matt can trail us. We can do a little bit of a review. Why don't we start there? So I've got a couple pictures here which are on my website. You can find out all about picture inspiration, what it is, how to play, see the past entries on my website at playwoodworks.com. There's a handy link in the top menu that says Woodchat Picture Inspiration. It's saved here. You see all the past designs and the videos in which we discuss them. And then at the very bottom of the page, you'll find the current inspiration, which happens to be 2 pictures. We've got this one picture of coins, two-tone coins, kind of interesting. And then we have this stairway. It's also interesting. So I hope that you have found inspiration in one or both these pictures and come up with a design based on them. If you have, you can send them to me anytime at chris@playwoodworks.com, or you can send them to us by Twitter. Just upload it there, and with hashtag Woodchat, we'll show you design on the show. Those are the two pictures you have to choose from to hopefully inspire us, and I came up with a table based on one of those two pictures. I'm calling it the extrusion table. What did you come up with, Scott? In a nutshell.
It's a desk.
Desk, okay. And how about you, Matt?
I will share that in a second.
I'm almost ready.
Yeah, your audio is really not quiet, Chris.
Really?
At least for me. Just I don't know if there's dead batteries again or something or what. Just saying.
Just, I don't think it's the microphone, but it could be. I've moved the microphone to a better position. I think it's just the internet quality that I have here. It's unfortunate.
All right, I'm getting ready to tweet mine.
Oh, sorry. Forgot about that blue detail.
My drawing skills are not what they need to be. Bless you.
Bless you.
Oh man, I thought I hit the microphone button.
You sure didn't.
I apologize.
So you want me to? So you guys did the staircase one first.
That's what I chose for inspiration. Yes.
I chose the staircase.
Okay. Well, so we had the other one, which was this one. Right, pile of coins. And that's the one I chose. And I knew what I wanted to draw a couple days ago, but I just now drew it. So.
I did mine on Sunday, which there's no excuse for why I don't have them already put down into images. But I'm posting it on Twitter right now. So.
Did anybody else submit a picture, Chris?
I have not seen any others. I know that the three of us have designs. And who wants to lead off?
Go for it, Chris.
All right. I'm just having Matt's there. I'm just being there. Did mine show up in Twitter yet? Let's see if it did. There you go. Okay. So there's a photo set that I shared through Tumblr.
Yeah.
The Woodchat feed, and obviously my inspiration came from the staircase. The end view here might show you a little bit better here. So I've got.
Wow, you went big. You went SketchUp or no? You used your 3D program.
Yeah. So I've got that curved profile of the stairs, and I thought about stacking them on top of each other, one smaller on another, which gives you a bench of any length, infinite length, I guess. Just add more components. And I chose to round over all the faces to kind of give it that round over look. So this table comes in at 12 feet long. So I came up with the dimensions based on standard table dimensions with 2 feet of width per person. And my tabletop is 30 inches across. Although you do lose some workable area with the round over on the front.
Yeah.
So you basically sit on the legs, is that what I'm seeing? Or
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you face in?
Yeah, you straddle it. You can't really wear a dress with this kind of table.
Or you just side saddle it.
Yeah, you could do that too. And you also end up with some storage underneath here, whether it's useful or not. You can probably tuck your legs under there if you wanted to sit flat on the bench part.
This looks like a table I'd see and don't take this as an offense, but it looks like a table you'd see in a school cafeteria for some reason.
Yeah, definitely a public space table with the benches and the long table. Although one limitation to the design is that you are generally limited to the number of occupants you could put on the table. You can't crowd people onto the bench here. One thing, after I drew this first design, I realized I didn't like how it just drops straight down here, and you can't really get close to the table.
Yeah.
So here's another picture of that design there. In the second version, look at the bottom here, I pulled it in like this here. So now you can get a little bit closer to the table, and you get something like that there.
Hey, Chris.
A little bit more curvy, yeah.
What if, how do I explain this? What if you were to sit facing the table, I don't even know how to explain it. Shazbot, how do I explain this? What if you did cutouts on either side of the lower horizontal piece for your legs?
I thought about that. So you bring it in so it's narrower?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, even the piece that went up to the table, make that narrow enough that it would fit between your legs, and then as it comes down, it gets wider as it goes towards your booty.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I did think about that.
And two of us here definitely need the wider booty.
Yeah.
Definitely need a big booty. It ain't your beauty, it's your booty.
Interestingly, part of how I came to this design was that I wanted something that would be easy to model. I didn't want to put a whole lot of effort into it. I was being lazy, I guess. And I wanted to keep it fairly rectilinear in appearance. So, yeah, I'll admit that function is a little bit compromised in this preliminary drawing. If you've got any thoughts or questions on my design, I'll have to give them, you can shoot them to me.
It would be cool if you could just have a big factory just extrude that.
Yeah. I think that to make them, if I were to make out of wood, I would either CNC weld a whole bunch of parts and then laminate them together, or cut them from, say, 2x material, and then glue it together right around the corner, and then somehow shape it with a router, or I don't know what I'd use.
It looks a little thick too. The pieces look thick.
Yeah, they're 2 inches thick.
Okay.
This would be a great one for an industrial size 3D printer.
Yeah. Although I don't know if they have the strength to make a bench.
Yeah.
I wonder if you could do this out of concrete rebar.
Yeah, that'd be kind of cool. Interesting. You could even thin up the vertical pieces up to the top. Maybe even add a few more, but then so you have skinny vertical pieces, but then have a solid bench all the way along with cutouts at each, an opening at each point for the legs, so you sit over it like it's an actual bench instead of straddling something. But you'd lose a little bit of the openness of it, but it might add something different.
Yeah.
What kind of wood would you make it out of, Chris?
This really looks like a metal design to me,
You'd do it out of metal?
especially if I could do it extruded aluminum and have enough strength. Aside from that, I can see it being plywood with exposed edges and then a dark veneer on the outside, inside and outside.
That would look cool. The contrast would look cool, dude.
I don't know if I'm in love with the tabletop though. I think I like the base more than the top. So I might change the top for a flat top. Or perhaps not, I don't know.
It would be interesting if how it's you have seats on either side that come into the middle and curve up towards the top to support the top, but those two pieces are connected in the middle.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting if you could remove that connection.
There would be a lot of force on where that S curve meets the tabletop, but it could be done. All the force would be right here, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And in the tabletop itself, it would want to buckle as well. The other thought I had while I was designing this was that if instead of having 6 people on the table and having a rectangular table, you had a square table and then 2 seats on, well, 1 seat on each side of the square table. So you have the seats in a cross pattern.
Yeah, I think this would be. I don't know how you would make it without making it in a bunch of pieces that were milled. Or you could, I guess, you could make the top out of a bunch of. You could laminate the top, and you could laminate the bench, and you could separately laminate the S curves, and then join them together, maybe.
Mm-hmm. Top would be pretty easy. Just cut some bevels on some long pieces of material, and then glue it together like coopering a lid or something, just to get that curve. Granted, they are 14 feet long, so it's a little bit challenging. 12 feet long, 12 feet long.
What else would be cool is if where the supports from the bench go down to the ground, S curve them back in.
Yeah.
Just even slightly.
Yep. And a mirror the top.
And that way you'd have fewer things to trip on.
Yeah.
Pretty interesting. And what you could even do, you could try and do a little, I guess I'll call it a hump on the back of the seat, where it's not a backrest, it's just a hump.
Yep. Yep. Kind of keep you forward. If you take away this bottom bench section, I'm pretty sure I've seen this top profile, something very similar to it, in a metal public bench in a park or.
I think it would be pretty cool to keep going on this design for a while.
Mm-hmm. Interesting, because I can't.
And then you have to make one.
Yeah.
Where did Scott go?
his computer freaked out on him. So he's going to be back in a minute or two, he says.
What the hell?
I'm just pulling up an offset now. I'm going to see if I can model a round version of this table or something.
So are we ready to look at Scott's design or my design?
Let's wait for Scott to come back.
What's that?
Let's wait for Scott to come back.
Okay.
Before we talk about this, that's what you're. We just want to.
I can show mine if you'd like.
Yeah.
Your audio is really, really horrible, by the way. Horrible, horrible, horrible.
I don't know what I can do about that.
I don't know if there's anything you can do. I think it's the Google machine. All right, so here's a picture I chose for my inspiration. It's just a pile of English, looks like English coins. Or maybe it's not English, but I think it is. And what I like about it is that they're all uniform in size and color and design, but they're not uniformly stacked. Right? They're all kind of random. So what I chose to do, and this is hand-drawn, so please, people, be kind.
Hand-drawn? I can tell.
Was I probably wouldn't do an apron on this table, but this is a table, a three-legged table. And what I would do is I would probably cut rounds out of, I don't know, probably paper white birch. And I would cut 3 or 4 or 5 that were exactly the same height. They wouldn't have to be cut flat, but they'd be at exactly the same height so that glass could rest on there.
Okay.
And then I would cut a bunch of individual pieces at a bunch of different heights and different angles off of 90 degrees. And I would use different diameters. Well, I might not use different diameters because all the coins are of uniform diameter. But basically, that's what would make my tabletop. And then, but you would actually be a functional table because there was glass on there. If you wanted to make it more interesting, you could not put the glass on there.
Yeah, I was thinking that.
But I probably wouldn't do the apron because with the apron, it looks like a bunch of pillar candles stacked on a table. And so then I thought, if I did 3 legs, I might use 3 long pieces and have them go all the way down to the floor and either leave them natural or have them transition into the leg, just like spoke shape so at the top of the table, sorry, you see my mouse pointer? At the top of the table, it would be like a birch log cut at an angle, and then as it got down towards the floor, it would just transition. I would spoke shape it into a leg.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not sure how I'd get them all joined. I'd probably just glue it all together, or there might be I might glue it all together, and then after it's glued together, flip it upside down. Use a router planing jig to make the bottom basically flat.
Yep.
Then route a recess in there that didn't go all the way out to the edge, obviously. And then glue in a plywood panel, a recessed plywood panel.
Yep.
So.
I like that. I like the idea of the varying surface levels.
Yeah. You like the idea of the varying diameters or the varying heights?
Yeah, both.
Both, yeah.
And I like the idea of them being uneven. You'd have some larger ones to put cuts on, and then a collection of, say, 3/4-inch ones cut at different angles, but roughly the same height in clusters, so you can put, say, a book on there.
Yeah. So I even thought of, I think you did this on a previous project where you said you would hollow pieces out so you could put things in there.
Mm-hmm.
Like a spot
That was
for
my
cookies,
yeah.
things like that. A spot for change. So then I thought of I could slice these, the tops off of these, and turn them into little cubbies. So instead of a table with drawers, it would have a bunch of flip top lids, but I would make it where you couldn't tell they were flip top lids.
Cool.
So you might have a big one and you open it up and inside is your remote, and a smaller one you open it up and inside is spare change, right? And so I would want to use those, what are they called, barrel hinges that are hidden.
Yep.
So I might actually make this dang thing if I can find a bunch of good dry birch. So
You could also just use magnets or something to hold it there.
yeah. Well, my daughter would lose them. They would go away. So that's the idea. And I would probably want to find a big round and maybe put that in the middle. I don't know. It depends. I would want these big enough where if I varied the height and the angle slightly, you could actually still set things on it.
Yeah.
So.
Now, in your drawing, you have a pretty clear image of a table underneath the stack. So
yeah, I want
that. You could do it all together by making the legs full length from the bottom all the way up to where you cut it at an angle and make it actually one of those stacks.
Yeah, I think I know what you're saying. Your audio is kind of goofy, but yeah, I would probably do it where it doesn't look like a bunch of logs stacked on a table. I would do it where a log came all the way down and was carved into the leg.
Yeah.
And then I wouldn't have this apron in here at all.
You gave me a cool idea, Matt. You know how on your workbench, when you've been working with hand planes, you have a pile of shavings that covers your bench. What if you made a table, covered it with shavings, and then somehow plasticized them, made them hard with resin or something?
Yeah.
Instead of a table with a bunch of shavings on there, that is the table.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, so the other thing I was trying to think about that I need help with is, you're going to have a bunch of round things stuck together, and so you're going to have a diamond where they meet. You're going to have gaps where they meet.
Yep.
And so I thought about what would I put in there, if anything.
Smaller ones.
I
just put smaller rounds in there.
Yeah. They'd be stick. They'd almost look like sticks. So.
Or you could backlight it, Matt. Put a bright light underneath.
I could do what?
Put a light underneath. A light source.
Oh, a light coming up from the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
That would be cool. That would be very, very cool. I like that. He's got back. I think it's time to talk about his.
Mm-hmm.
He did a full-on desk.
He did. With a computer monitor on top. Is that what I see? 2 monitors?
Yeah, well, it looks like he's got 2 screens on top. And a place on the left to store the CPU.
It's a pretty cool design. It kind of reminds me of a decade past.
Drawers or doors, it starts at the right and goes down and around and up and back over and up and around. And then on the other side, it does a similar thing. This is built in like 1, 2,
yeah,
a lot of pieces. But I like it.
Yeah. You have to click on the image and have a close look at it and just follow the lines. It goes around and goes this way and that way.
Yeah. All right, Scott, where are you?
Really cool design. Reminds me of my wireframe cabinet, just taking one line and running with it.
It doesn't look like the easiest project to build, but I mean, it's a lot of, looks like a lot of bent lamb.
Yeah, along the same lines as my design.
Yep.
Yeah. I suppose you could cast it.
3D print the whole thing?
Blow, I don't know. I'm not very familiar with plastics manufacturing, but maybe you could blow mold it. I don't think blow molding is the right feature. Extruding would definitely work. I do believe, at least. Sheet metal with a brake.
What's that?
Sheet metal would work.
Yeah, you could do that. Yeah, but it would be so, like, sheet metal would be, here he is, let's, okay, Scott,
That was really, really irritating.
you have to tell us about your desk and how the hell you would build it.
Yeah, just one second. Let me get some extra pictures of it.
Bless you.
Hopefully this works. The computer's acting slow as often. I'll get up. Alright, let me screen share here. Alright, so let's go. I guess that'll work. Yeah, I have no idea. So, it would be a lot of you know, kind of bent lamination, make your own plywood type of deal. Let me get to the front. I need to open a different picture here.
I was wondering, Scott, if you could make it using sheet metal.
What's that?
I was wondering if you could make it with sheet metal.
Yeah, that might work. That's not the one I want. Let's see. All right, so I don't know if you can tell, but it kind of comes to an end there, right above the drawer, and right underneath this this loop here. The back piece where the monitors sit on, there's a split in the middle, so it's technically two pieces, or I guess three pieces, because of the way the split works. But the idea I had was to make it all kind of one continuous piece that serpentines around. But obviously, it needed a place for the keyboard and mouse and everything. So the top here curls back around and under, which created a couple little compartments just for papers and mail or whatnot. I was thinking could even do the same thing over top of the computer monitor or computer stand area here. But so kind of tying off of that, how the one step continued down to the next step. That's kind of where that idea came from. And cantilever over top of this and all that. So I think it would have to be a bent plywood type of thing that I would veneer, and it would be a very tricky veneering process.
Yeah.
So
interior.
I don't know if you'd have to do it in sections almost,
I think you'd have to.
and create some type of vacuum bag system that you can put only a part of it in the system at once, and veneer just this little piece here, and then do this piece here, so the bag can kind of pinch off at the bends or something. I don't know how you do it. It was fun to design though.
Yeah. if you had large sheets of veneer, say your desktop is 4 feet wide, if you had veneer for 8, well, maybe 16 feet long and as deep as a section, could you apply glue to all of them and then put it into a cold press? Yeah. Some kind of forming like how they use for plywood and bend it around those shapes.
So veneer at first, you're saying? Before you bend it?
Veneer, make the whole thing out of veneer. Make the
Oh,
entire
so you,
one go.
okay. So you basically just do giant, like, bent
Giant bent
forms.
lines.
That could work.
Wait a minute, what would work? Because I'm having a tough time hearing Chris.
Basically do it like a bent lamination, where it's just instead of a bent plywood, and then try to veneer that, then it would be just a bunch of layers of veneer, essentially.
Yeah.
But yeah, you could do that in sections as well.
I wonder
If you're
if it's like,
very, very careful. If you have long enough open time.
yeah. I think I'd like to ask this guy here, see if it's possible, see if he has an idea how to do that.
That's actually one of the pieces that I thought of.
Yeah.
That I knew it's at least in the realm of possibility. There's another person that has done some stuff that had some pieces at the Grovewood. I can't remember who it was, but did some pretty intricate bending stuff with plywood. So I think it's possible. It just take a lot of work.
Yeah.
This is a piece that I don't know, it just kind of popped out of my head, but it's very unlike anything else I've ever just got, because plywood and laminations and that sort of thing aren't really my thing. But I was really excited about this one. I think I'd kind of like to try to figure out how to do it.
If you join them together and you could just laminate them all together, I think, and spine the corners will do well.
I think because I've got the split,
yeah,
I could make a giant form to do it all in one piece. Well, actually, the front section here would be two pieces. You got the left one here, and then you got this one that goes around and goes back. Possibly even split it into 3 or 4 sections.
Yeah. Well,
and then it would allow it to go even better. But with the right form and making it, cramping it the right way,
yeah,
it would work.
I'm looking at your design there, Scott, and you've got lines that run front to back on the components where I guess you put 2 pieces together.
Oh, that's just the like on the corners.
Yeah.
I just didn't take the time to go in and erase those and sketch up.
Well, why couldn't you have an actual seam there? That's my thought.
Oh, yeah, I could.
And that'd
That'll allow you
be
to do it in
building
parts. And if you grain match correctly, and there's going to have to be a seam somewhere anyway.
Yep.
If you grain match correctly, you can hide the seams on the on the undersides and yeah. I think it can be done.
Pretty crazy desk.
But this is probably the only thing I think I've designed that I could see if it was completed, it would show up, on one of those like design milk or something.
Yeah.
It totally feels like something something that they would love. So now I want to make it just so I can be on there.
End up on design milk.
Yeah.
So, are those doors or drawers on the right?
These are drawers.
Okay.
And how would you attach them? Would they float or glide on more wood or slides or?
I've had an idea on that. Oh, I was thinking they'd have the illusion of floating, but it would be undermount hardware, and then the from the back side would have a panel that the undermount. It'd have to be beefed up so that the cantilever off of that back panel, but it would be like a single center undermount
Wow.
guide coming off of the back panel, just to give that illusion of it just floating, just to play with that a little bit.
Does that hardware exist?
What's that?
Does that hardware exist?
Center mount, undermount?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've put them in something. Usually you have to have they mount on a face frame in the front.
Yeah, that's right. They need to support the front
the
or
back,
cross the front.
Yeah. So the drawer would have to be a little bit less shallow, or not quite as deep, and you'd have to have extra room underneath the front of the drawer behind the front panel, just to create a beefy enough rail for it to sit on, I guess. It can be done. So yeah, that's kind of fun.
Would there be a way to make this without that seam going down the middle, you think?
Let's do it.
Without the...
There's like a seam that divides it in half.
Oh, this one from left to right?
Yeah.
I kind of did it just because I liked the aspect of multiple pieces. I thought it just added something to it, but I suppose it could. But then you're getting into a much more difficult lamination when you get to that. So that's kind of the other thing I was thinking, is that seam allows you to laminate these a little bit easier and create a form that you can. And that's what I said. Even if you divide it into three, you can create a giant form that you just kind of twist all the pieces into and put a bag over it and vacuum seal it, vacuum thing.
Yeah, I think it's a bunch of bent lands. Or wood pulp 3D printing.
That was an idea. One of the things I've loved about this contest is that when I actually sit down and take some time to think of a design, it's surprised me what's come out of that. It's opened my design palette up a little bit. Which is a good reminder. I just need to take the time to do that. I don't force myself to do that enough, especially when things are busy.
Yeah, and just looking at the designs too and getting all kinds of ideas.
Okay, what's next, fellas?
We need to pick a new picture for next week.
Yes, we do.
Still thinking about how to put spots together there.
If anyone has any ideas on that, by all means.
What picture we should?
Just looking at the couple pieces of hardware here.
Oh, I have an idea.
If your panels were thick enough, Scott, you could use something like button fix to slide together hardware. I was thinking about dog bones too, or something similar, which would be assembling just different components with the profiles and then joining them at every corner. Lots of ways to make that happen, I think.
I'm sorry, I was looking something up. What was that again?
Oh, there's lots of ways you could assemble it if you we're assembling flat pieces into the curved form, gluing them at every corner.
Yep.
All right, I'm trying to find a picture.
I've got an idea here. We
Okay.
can use almost anything from this guy. Any of you familiar with Clark Little?
Who?
His name is Clark Little.
Mm-mm.
He takes these pictures of these waves. Let's see if we can get a bigger image here. It's not going to let me look at a bigger image. So he gets in as these waves are breaking, and takes a picture looking down through the tunnel of the wave.
Okay.
And they're just fascinating. I am screen sharing, right?
Yep.
Yeah, you are.
Okay. So I thought one of those might be a interesting. Let's see if we can get this one. There we go. There's a little bit bigger size of it. If not, no worries. But I thought it would. I like his photography, so I thought it might be worth something.
Take a vote.
I like it. I'm down with it.
To this one here.
That looks like a water dragon coming out of the ocean.
Isn't that amazing?
A dragon made of water coming to eat your face.
So we like that one.
I say Scott gets to pick. Because Scott found the thing in the first place.
Ooh, this is good.
Oh.
That, for some reason, reminds me of Whitney Houston.
Whitney Houston.
Yeah, I don't know why, but that's
All right.
Whitney Houston. No idea. It's just Whitney Houston. I can't tell you why. I just know that it's Whitney Houston.
All right, let's do. Boy, his stuff is so cool.
How about the picture with the guy in it?
Okay. Look at that! You can see the reflection of the beach in the wave.
It's upside down.
Yeah.
Maybe that
What
one.
was that? Let's do this one.
Okay. I'm
Yeah.
cool with that.
Fire a link into Twitter, Scott.
What's that?
Fire a link into Twitter.
All right.
We're still screen sharing, by the way.
Okay.
Are you guys both around next week?
Let me look at my calendar. I should be.
I should be. The only reason I wouldn't is if I'm running way behind on
Yeah, I will be.
for the show. So.
All right, that's good.
Yeah, I have nothing that tells me that I shouldn't be around, so I should be around. Should be just fine. Dang. Chris, will you be around?
I expect to be.
Okay. Well, next week we'll do the wave picture then. Right?
Sounds good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Chris, you want to wrap us up?
Sure, give me 1 second here. I just took a picture. I want to just.
Are you going to show another picture?
Where'd it go? Oh. How about this one for next week's?
Are you screen sharing? We don't see anything.
I'm screen sharing a screenshot of Scott's shop.
Oh, jeez. I was very confused. Like, why am I not moving?
It's kind of interesting though. Doing this, there's a lot to look at in each of our shops.
There's what?
A lot to look at in each of our shops.
Oh yeah.
There's
a lot of extra to look at. I staged this a little bit for you. Just to prove that I'm actually.
Did we use Scott again? No, we got Scott still.
Okay, are we wrapping up here?
Sure. I want to mention that there will be not a shop stool build off, but a sequel to the shop stool build off, and that is taking place in November. I'm not hosting it. I haven't got all the details yet, but instead of a coffee table, the project is a coffee table. Instead of a shop stool, it's a coffee table.
Okay.
And that'll be in November, and we were discussing it on Twitter. I'm just trying to go back and remember who is organizing it.
Is Neil doing it this time?
No, Neil's hosting it in a couple, and not the next one. NV Woodworks, aka Zach Higgins, is hosting one, as well as Wood by Tile. I don't know if they're doing one together or if they're doing individual ones. But, November for the coffee table is the next one. I will definitely keep you posted with more details as they come my way. So now we just have
I have a quick announcement that my fall and winter class schedule is up now. So you can go to my classes page and sign up for regular class or an advanced making class.
And the advanced is a new one, is it not, Scott?
Say again?
The advanced class is a new one, right?
Yeah, it's a joiner and a jack. A jack with an applied exotic sole, and then a joiner that I basically give away my patterns and designs for my joiner. I don't give it away, I guess. You pay for it, but yeah, so it's a fun class.
All right. So
cool. Wrap us up, Chris.
All right. So this, yeah, you're making me. You wrap up. You got without the audio. I'll go for it. So this has been Woodchat, a very inspired and interesting Woodchat for the day of Wednesday, August 27th, 2014. We spent a lot of time talking about the picture inspiration designs. Some really interesting ones for sure, and I've got more than a few ideas to run with myself. I hope you do as well. For our next week's show, all three of us expect to be here, and we will be looking at designs based on the picture of the wave, which will be up on our website at flairwoodworks.com. And I hope you find some time to put together a design that wave inspires in you somehow. When you do, you can email it to me, Chris at flairwoodworks, or you can upload to Twitter with #Woodchat, and we will share them and look at them all next week. We do this every week, Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern. Signing up from Port Moody, it's Chris Wong. Good night.
Good night, everybody.
Hi, everybody. Oh, I'm building a ukulele.
Woo!
Yeah. From a kit. Good night.
So from now on, all Woodchats on Matt's end will be done with ukulele sound effects.
Yes. And we'll have a new theme song.
I will not sing for you. I will not sing for you. Good night, everybody.
All right. Good night.